Egyptians were definitely black. And as a black person, if you're watching this, bruh, you need to know that we were Egyptians.
The history books in school don't want to teach you these things, but we got receipts. The first Romans, the Etruscans, were black people. The original Jewish people were black. Let's look at the evidence.
And there were a lot of Moroccan Moors. And if you don't know where Morocco is, it's on the northern tip of Africa, right next to Egypt. That being said, there were many black Vikings.
The Moors were black North Africans who conquered Spain and Portugal, parts of Italy, and other parts of Europe throughout the Dark Ages.
I wanted to go over a couple of things. One of those things is black people are not African, contrary to popular belief. So-called black people, or Negroes as some people call us, hail from the tribe of Judah, which are one of the 12 lost tribes of Israel.
Yo, one thing I'm still lost about is why people still think we're Africans. We don't even look alike.
The only non-immigrants in America is Blk Americans.
What if I told you the reason why African Americans are so diverse in looks is because all African Americans are not African?
When it comes to 3-year-old Kanaya, Michael, you are not the father.
Truth is, most of us are actually less than 1% Native American. Those features of your great-grandmothers likely came from another source, the white ancestors that surfaced on our family trees during slavery. But if you're still curious to find out what, if any, percentage of your ancestors were Native American, or how African, or how European you really are, a DNA test is your best bet.
Hello again. This is JB, the Negro Whisperer, here to expose and dispel the myths and fallacies of the internet engines, the Weibos, the Aboriginal Indigenous, whatever they call themselves, the Dane Calloway's. They are so desperate that they needed to steal an image of a true indigenous woman and put an African American woman's face on it. That's the length that they would go. Once again, this is JB, the Negro Whisperer.
The bulk of the African American gene pool comes from West and Central Africa, from northern Senegal to southern Angola. Very diverse populations, diverse culturally, many different languages are spoken, many different cultures and religions, but also biologically. And you can find the vast array of phenotypes and skin colors, hair colors, nose shapes throughout this region of West Africa. And for the most part, about 95% of the enslaved Africans that came from this area were brought to the Americas. About 5% came from East Africa. And so it's important when we try to understand genetic variation in African Americans, it's rooted in West Africa. And so we have to understand African variation also.